When you tell people about your business, do you start with the product or service that you offer? Or do you start with why this company is important to you? Most business owners start with the product, the what, and very few start with the why. Perhaps that's why as many as 90% of startups fail. Here are the actions you can take to start with the why and inspire everyone to follow your lead. Based on Simon Sinek's book, Start with the Why. The first action you need to take is to start with the why so you can inspire other people. Think of all the successful leaders you know. The Wright brothers, who flew the first plane, Martin Luther King Jr., who led the social justice movement, and Apple, a company that inspires us to think differently. What do they all have in common? They all inspire us because they have a strong sense of why they do things. If you have a strong why, the remaining pieces will fall into place. I'm sure you've heard of the Wright brothers, who were the first to take flight in 1903, but have you heard of Samuel Pierpont Langley? Not many people have. He was the highly regarded, highly connected, highly funded man who wanted to be the first to pilot an airplane. He even had a $50,000 grant from the War Department to fund his project. He had all the whats and hows. He could buy any material or hire any of the brightest minds he could find. But yet he didn't succeed. The Wright brothers did because they were highly motivated and curious and could inspire those around them to lead a team that made flight possible with their strong sense of why. Put another way, to start with the why is to work from the golden circle. The golden circle in this case is the why, how, and what circle. It is inspired by the golden ratio, a simple mathematical relationship that has many applications. Start from the inside out. Start with the why and then figure out the how and the what. Such a simple reframe can have a huge impact on your marketing. If Apple didn't start with their why, their marketing might sound like this. We make great computers. They're beautifully designed, simple to use, and user-friendly. Want to buy one? Instead, they start with the why like this. Everything we do, we believe in challenging the status quo. We believe in thinking differently. The way we challenge the status quo is by making our products beautifully designed, simple to use, and user-friendly. And we happen to make great computers. Want to buy one? Which advertisement would work for you? If you noticed, they both had the same information, they were simply framed differently. Next, use a carrot, not a stick, to get your customers. In this economy, you can probably find someone who's offering a product similar to yours, maybe even with a better price or better features. Using a stick is equivalent to manipulating your customer into buying your product. Maybe you've heard the Trident commercial that says, 4 out of 5 dentists prefer Trident. You automatically feel left out and like you need to follow the experts. While this might work to get your customer, it won't work to get you loyalty. Loyal customers aren't scared into buying your product. They buy it because they believe in it. Understand that starting with the why is deeply rooted in our biology and not simply an opinion. We all want to belong. Great leaders inspire us to make us feel like we belong. And as much as we might want to assign logical reasons why we follow a leader, it starts in our gut. It starts in our limbic brain that is responsible for all of our feelings. How many times have you made a decision just because it feels right? That's your limbic brain at work. That's why we choose to say that when we meet our soulmate, we just knew. Our rational brain wants to have a reason. We might even argue we married our partner because they were caring and smart, but there are lots of caring and smart people in the world, and you don't go around marrying all of them. So why that one? It's your limbic brain making the choice for you. Bonus tip to getting over someone who rejected you and you feel like you need closure and a reason for their actions. They probably don't even know why they rejected you. It just didn't feel right. They might rationalize it, saying they don't feel the chemistry, but at the end of the day, if you weren't mean or hurtful, it's probably just a feeling they got that they can't fully explain. Just move on with the understanding that not everything can be rationalized accurately. The next action is to never veer from your cause. Sure, you might make more money in the short run if you decide to use manipulation techniques. But you won't get the loyalty of an Apple follower or Harley-Davidson fanatic who has the logo tattooed on their body. People are willing to go to great lengths if your why is clear. They'll even wait a year or two for a Harley-Davidson motorcycle, even though that long of a wait seems like a bad business model. You have to stay clear on your why, as it shows that you're authentic and will have lasting success. It even applies to dating. Imagine you go out with Brad and he starts with the what by saying, I'm extremely rich, I have a big house, I'm on TV because I'm good looking, I've done pretty well for myself. Now imagine that same Brad leading with the why by saying, I wake up every day to do something I love. I get to inspire people to do things that inspire them. And believe it or not, I've been able to make a lot of money from it. I have a big house. I get to be on TV all the time because I'm good looking. I'm very lucky that I'm doing something that I love, and I love actually being able to do pretty well because of it. Which Brad is more likely to get a second date from you? Your value or your business's value is so much easier to prove if you always start with the why and continue to run your business that way even after you become successful. Work on developing trust. The only difference between you and a caveman is the car you drive. Our species succeeded because we were able to come together and form a culture of a group of people who share a common set of values and beliefs. We're able to explore outside of the cave and advance because we developed a community or family that helped to protect our children during this time of exploration. Find the people who believe in what you believe and build a culture around that. While an Apple engineer has the skills to work for Microsoft, he or she would not fit in the company culture. When people believe in your vision, they'll work harder to make it happen. Just as someone who thinks of their job as something without a purpose, like laying bricks, another person might view the same job position as meaningful if they believe in the vision and see that laying the brick will lead to a cathedral, and they feel amazing to be part of it. Figure out how to get to the tipping point. The general population could be divided into innovators, early adopters, early majority, and laggards. According to the law of diffusion, mass market success can only be achieved after you penetrate between 15 to 18% of the market. Once you do this, the idea becomes a movement and growth is exponential. Find people who believe in you on the left side of the curve and have them tell other people about you. Once you get a following of the early adopters who believe in you, the rest of the population will follow. This can be tricky for a lot of businesses that try to focus on the what and appeal to the general mass, but you need to focus on the why and appeal to the early adopters. Learn to really listen to the internal why. Let's say you're going to a party and you have multiple people giving you advice on what to bring. Some say you have to bring M&Ms, and others say that you have to bring celery. If you stand in line with both of these items in your hands, no one can look at you and understand what you believe in. If you don't want to look confusing, listen to the why you're bringing something to the party. If it's to be healthy, you'll go with celery. And the beautiful part of this is you knew it was celery before you heard it in the video. That's why you need to listen to the why and be committed to it. Don't get your why fuzzy. Understand the difference between achievement and success. Achievement is something you reach, for example, a goal of making $1 million. Success is a state of being. If you focus on achievement, you'll focus on the what, not the why. Don't fall into this trap. While you start with why, you have to know how. Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech could be just that, a dream, if he didn't have a guy like Abernathy to tell people how to take the next steps. They would have just gone home and thought about what a great speech that was instead of making it a social justice movement. Next, figure out your what and make sure you still have a clear why. Apple's slogan is think differently. And that's why they did figure out their what. The Macintosh computer, they still stayed clear on the why. Have you noticed how they never show groups enjoying the computer together? That's because they stay clear to their why of thinking differently, not in groups. Another example of staying clear on their why is the story of car executives who went to see the Japanese assembly line. At the end of the line, a worker would take a rubber mallet and tap the edges of the door to ensure that it fit perfectly to get the car produced. In Japan, the job didn't exist. Their reason? We make sure it fits when we design it. They start with their why of changing the transportation system and designing cars correctly where they fit instead of just focusing on producing a car. Now that you understand the actions needed to have a clear why, which action or story helped you the most with improving your life and getting away from being an average person?